Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we are back, and today we're specifically talking about Moldova because Moldova has had their election. And this is an election I find very interesting because we've talked about Moldova last year, and last year was a presidential election. This year is going to be more critical because this is a parliamentary election, and this will determine the next prime minister of Moldova. And the prime minister of Moldova has the power to specifically has executive power. They are the head of state, while the president of Moldova, nearly a figurehead. Although the president may show up and represent the country in some meetings, like in the UN or in NATO, etc., even though Moldova is not a part of NATO, they would love to be a part of it, though, under this leadership. The prime minister, who is elected by the parliament, has the power to use executive action, like issuing executive orders and declarations of war, etc. So they're the main power grab you want to have. And this is a lot. This begs a different. A lot of people have a lot of questions in regards to this race, because I'll tell you, both political parties I have questions about. I released a poll to discuss what you guys think in regards to this channel, in regards to this election, and a lot of you all say it's a bit divided field, and it's 7 votes. But I can guarantee you that the PAS will end up winning. But my only personal beef with the PAS is it's just too globalist. And not to mention, the PAS is aligned with the Democratic Party here. The PAS is not that center-right. Don't let the center-right label fool you. And I would argue that in my interest, in the interests of America, and I know I'm going to get a lot of beef of saying this, but I'm actually going to support the BEP. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I look at Slovakia, and I say, you know what? These political parties in Eastern Europe, they're not as left-wing as what Europe wants to make them think. I did my research on the BEP before stating my support, but I've learned that they are actually very conservative. They are anti-abortion, anti-gay marriage, and very socially conservative and Christian, allegedly, because they do believe in Christian values. They're more left-wing economically, fiscally. And it's true, they are on the block of communists and socialists, but let's be honest, guys, we have to play politics here. The PAS party, is specifically getting too liberal. Way too liberal. This is a left-wing party. I don't care if it says center to center right. This is a left-wing party. This party backed Kamala Harris by over 80% over Donald Trump. And it was actually the BEP that endorsed Trump. What? Yeah, I know, it's a little weird how that goes. But if Trump were running in Moldova, he would run under this political party. He would run under the Patriotic Electoral Bloc. Because, number one, they like him. People in this political party like President Trump. They actually admire him. Not so much in this party. No. They can't stand Trump in the PAS party. And it's not that I favor the BEP because of that reason solely. I favor the BEP specifically because of its views on globalism. It's sure they'll say, oh, it's a Russian-aligned political party, etc. And yeah, but I'm thinking in a standpoint that, if we get these people in Moldova, and I know what I'm saying, I'm going to get a lot of backlash from it, but I want you all to believe in what I'm saying. I want, when it comes to this political party, I don't favor it, but if I were to choose between the two, I would support this one because, it fits America's best interests. Relations are trending downward under the PAS party, guys. with the current president and this guy who looks like he will be the next prime minister. He is the president of the Moldovan parliament. Yeah, very neoconservative. He is distancing himself from Trump. He's distancing the whole country from Trump. Relations are getting soured with Moldova and the United States. And this country just wants to back Ukraine, sends millions of dollars to Ukraine. And what we're seeing in regards to the current conflict with NATO and Russia, we're seeing thousands of drones flying like crazy all the way to Russia. Well, and all the way to Poland, really, because Russia is violating Poland's airspace. And all these countries, they can't just let Poland deal with it. No, all the countries in NATO are sending their drones into Poland to battle the Russians. Is this really worth it? Is this really worth it? I hate the left so much. But when it comes to combating globalism, which this channel is 100% against, we gotta use our cards correctly. I came out in support of the BEP specifically because of its conservative values. If it was full-on communist, I wouldn't be supporting it. I felt comfortable backing Patriotic Electoral Bloc, mostly because it is pro-life. Weird to say, coming from a communist, but you know how things are in Eastern Europe. It's a little weird in Eastern Europe. They're also anti-wokeism. They follow their Christian values. They're probably atheists, but they're not indoctrinating people like the PAC is. PAC is a forever an extreme abortion political party. It supports not just gay marriage. It supports left-wing indoctrination, like sexual indoctrination. So I heard someone say that, I can't back the BEP because they're communists. I respect that 100%. But when it comes to using the cards correctly, I wouldn't back Paz either. Like, you have to choose between two far left political parties. Which ones you're going to go with? One actually is against indoctrination. One supports indoctrination. I would say BEP on paper and American values is less far left than the PAC. I don't buy this center-right nonsense right here. This is BS. This is bull. Okay? And you'll see the channel is a little divided. Some, like 43% is willing to back the BEP. And we can even reset to see if we got even more voters. But I would imagine the margin, actually, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's growing for the PAC because people see center-right. But I guarantee you a lot of people aren't voting because they see the word globalism. Because you got two antagonistic words in this poll. Globalism and left-wing. And people just say none. Like, that's why I didn't add the none of the above, that option. Because I really wanted to ask this hard question. Because it's easy question. I would have said none. Neither. You just check out down option number 3. That's not a real case scenario in most cases. We got to ask the hard questions, and it seems a lot of people are sucking and like, okay, we're going to back the PAC. I'm not. I'm actually in the minority of this channel. I would back the BEP just because I'm looking at, okay, I don't trust this political party. They are not this political party, but the BEP. They're technically very conservative on principle when it comes to abortion and social issues. That's why I'm giving a little bit more trust to them than usual. But when it specifically comes to the mainly the social issues and also the foreign policy issues, I'm not backing them because they're pro-Russian. They're mainly, I'm backing them because they want to get Moldova into a more of a status quo. This political party supports transparency and friendship with both the United States and Russia. And although the PAC I wouldn't say the PAC supports the United States anymore. Let's be honest. They hate Trump, and they're mad at us for not being globalist enough. Like we're not already. So I can't get behind this party of action and solidarity. I know last year, I can go back to the Moldova video from last year. Yeah, I backed 100%. I stood my ground and backed this political party, the pro-Western PAC. You'll see this is my video from last year. It's kind of crazy. She has, obviously, there's cities in central Moldova in her support. And yeah, it's mainly urban areas that mainly favor the PAS or center-right, while the center-left, in ways, Moldova to lean. And this video was, well, what? Was this released on November 3rd? Elected its President Mia Sandu against, as you know, Alexander Stianaglo. And, where it is, right here. But, yeah, anyway, what do you guys... Yeah, I like looking at those videos from years ago, but yeah, I backed Sandu, because I was naive. I mean, let's be honest, I was more concerned about being called a fraud, being a fake conservative back then, almost a year ago. I was so worried about being judged as a fake conservative. But little did I know I was being a fake conservative, because the conservative movement today in America does not stand with globalism. It is liberal globalism. And that's who Miss Sandu is. She is a globalist. And really, if you have her take an American political party, political test, she would come off as a liberal, a libertarian, or not just that, but your average Democrat. That is what Miss Sandu, President Sandu, is in Moldova. Mia Sandu, yep. I have demonized Alexander Stoyanoglu, and I'm thinking, no, maybe if we should give him a chance. I know I get a lot of heat. Oh, this guy's a far leftist. You can't do him. Guys, this is not United States. I'm worried about the far left here. I'm not worried about the far left everywhere else. The far left and everywhere else, they're not even far left. This is what the deep state calls them. And I don't like, this is Party of Socialists of the Republic of Moldova. I don't take that word to heart. I don't I can't get behind. Well, I'm thinking, look, what case is best for America? We already see, presidents, 2023 Slovak election, the Slovak election, specifically in the parliamentary election, you see people like Robert Fico. He is a left-winger. He's a Trump ally. He comes from Smear, which is a part of the Socialist International. He comes from the center-left wing. Yeah, he's a Trump ally. He's been a huge... Slovak-American relations soared into historic highs because of this guy. Could you imagine what Slovak-American relations would be like under this guy? Michael Samika? Sure, I get it, yeah. Oh, yeah, you also got Peter Pellegrini, who is also a conservative. No, not a conservative, but also someone who backed President Trump. You see, in Eastern Europe, it's a little different. The center-right parties are out of control. The center-right parties in Eastern Europe are the parties that are trying to ban people for using the wrong pronouns. It's actually the center-left that is anti-woke. It's mind-boggling. It's a little confusing, and you might have a hard time believing that. But our values on this channel matches the left wing in Eastern Europe, and it's really weird. I'm being quite honest. It makes me very uncomfortable. It makes me very uncomfortable backing these parties. But I always do my research. Peter Fico I can tell you already, he's a trustworthy source. He's always been a Trump ally. He's trustworthy. I've done my research with the political party, the newly formed Patriotic Electoral Bloc. Don't like that they're more communist leading. but they are more socially conservative on social issues. And politically and strategically, it'd be better if they're in power so we can take down NATO's and the left's globalist agenda. Because the left is in a civil war when it comes to globalism. You got the globalist left and you got the anti-globalist left. Patriotic elite electoral bloc is already a part of that anti-globalist faction of the left. So I would side with them 100%. They seem like, are they decent human beings? Probably not. They're probably 100% behind Palestine. That's why I'm saying I don't feel comfortable all the way supporting them. But, and I mean this, but, you gotta play your cards correctly. If you want to win the culture war around the world, you gotta play your cards correctly. If you want to win the war on globalism, play your cards correctly. I'm not trying to convince people that don't want to support the patriotic electoral bloc, and I'm just saying words right now. It's not like I've been donating money to them. I can't even vote for them. I'm not from Slovakia. I'm not a Slovak of any kind. I know I can't vote. I can't do that. I can't. But you got to use your. But we know for sure that relations are going down. PAC has gotten anti-Russian. Well, I wouldn't say anti-Russian, but Moldova has become very hostile to Russia. And this is only going to result to, if Moldova dare enters NATO, which is bad, by the way. We do not want Moldova to enter NATO. Russia will invade. And there's another country. You already have this territory right up here called Transnistria. Transnistria is all a Russian-aligned territory, which separated from Moldova in what became known as the Transnistrian War. It's technically an independent state recognized by Russia. And I'm saying Putin very well could go into Moldova to free this country right here, the Pridnestrovyan Moldovan Republic. And we don't want that, right? We don't want that. And so what's going to have to happen is Moldova needs to stay away from NATO. They're very close to being a part of NATO. And Russia, we know Putin's not going to tolerate that, and that's just going to escalate things. So if we are trying to build a culture of peace, a world of peace, it's better that we elect and root for the political parties that want to incentivize peace, incentivize good relations with the United States. BEP wants to work with both Russia and Moldova and the United States. I respect that. PAS is mad at the United States right now. They don't like Trump. They want Trump to leave. They love Kamala Harris. I don't like that. And they hate Putin. They love NATO. They want bloodshed and war, and we just can't get behind that as in NSC. It makes me uncomfortable to back BEP in this video. This is the very first time I'm backing a leftist political party in this whole entire channel, although I would comfortably back Robert Fico's re-election in Slovakia whenever that happens. But judging by the results, we got the results in, and you're probably like, okay, just get to the results already. And I am. And just as I expected, Action and Solidarity Party won. Why? Then again, this is Europe, right? Europe is woke, etc. But this political party is said to have gotten 49.59% of the popular vote, pretty big landslide against Igor Dodon, who is the president of Moldova, former president of Moldova, and his political party got 24%. This party, of course, has been antagonistic, as it is a Trump-aligned political party, by the way, in case you are wondering. And they do agree with a lot of Trumpian values. But, yeah, they didn't do so well. Why didn't they do so well? You'll even see, even in the urban areas, too, also. Like, where's the capital of Moldova? Yeah, capital of Moldova, right in the center the liberal areas, the progressive areas in Moldova, they're backing the center-right. This tells you everything you need to know, guys. The woke areas, the areas where the LGBTQ and their basins and their boroughs in Moldova, their base, they're voting in center-right areas. So this tells us that LGBTQ, they're mostly aligned with the Action and Solidarity. So you got the LGBTQ backing this political party, of course. Why? Because the BEP is against them. PAS is embracing them. And in their minds, it's backwards, right? This is the far right, and this is the far left. And this is kind of how we see it in American terms. But in Moldova, it's the other way around. So it looks like a typical presidential election. We can actually compare it to the presidential election results of 2020. Let's see here. (2024) presidential election. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you see, this was a pretty big landslide for the Action and Solidarity Party. You got this area being more liberal, progressive. Then you'll see the Action and Solidarity Party went up here, gained up here. Very progressive down here. Yeah, so in this result, the PAC gained. And this comes into play after Moldova has gotten more involved in the Ukraine war in most recent years. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are about this election. But hey, for those of you who do not like the BEP, I got good news for you. They lost pretty badly. And you know, hey, it is what it is. But I don't trust the PAC. I don't trust their president. I don't trust their prime minister. No. They are too globalist. And they're running a campaign of chaos and destruction. But what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.